Imagine waking up 1 year from now and finding yourself in the exact same place. You go through the motions and nothing has changed. That thought should send a chill down your spine because deep down we all fear the slow creep of stagnation, watching our potential quietly die. Welcome to a brand new episode that could change your life. I'm Umair, and today we're diving deep into Atomic Habits by James Clear, a revolutionary playbook for identity-based behavior change. This is not about mere willpower or quick fixes. It's about tiny changes and remarkable results. Stacking the smallest habits every day to completely reshape who you are. Build a system that makes you 1% better every single day and watch your life transform. But we're not just reviewing a book tonight. Stick around because by the end of this episode, you won't just understand these game-changing principles. You'll master them. I promise a powerful knowledge check quiz at the end that will test what you've learned and cement those ideas into action. This challenge isn't for casual viewers. It's designed to separate dreamers from doers. I'm joined by my co-host Angelina and a panel of experts to unpack how habit stacking can supercharge your routine, why shifting your identity is the real game changer, and how to turn those tiny habit adjustments into unstoppable momentum. Plus, we've got a surprise bonus waiting for you at the end of our discussion, an unexpected value that will skyrocket your journey to success. Get ready. If you're serious about transforming your life, you've just come to the right place. Let's dive in.
You know that feeling, right? You've got this list of things you want to change about your life.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe finally get that exercise routine going or learn a language, maybe just be tidier.
That's right.
And it just feels so huge, like you need this massive overnight shift.
It's completely overwhelming sometimes. We've all been there.
But what if the key isn't those giant leaps? What if it's something, well, much smaller, almost invisible even?
That is exactly what we're digging into today. We're exploring the whole idea of atomic habits, mainly from James Clear's book.
Okay.
We've got some excerpts from the book, plus a look at a recent bestseller list, just for context.
Right.
And our goal, really, is to figure out how these tiny, tiny tweaks in what we do can build up, how they lead to those big life-altering outcomes.
Finding a practical path, something manageable.
Exactly. Sustainable is the key word, I think, something you can actually stick with.
Absolutely. We want to get into the nuts and bolts, how do these little shifts actually work? And like you said, we've also got that snapshot of the bestseller list, cookbooks, thrillers, all sorts.
Yeah, it gives a bit of perspective on what else people are thinking about, even while we focus on habits.
Okay, so let's dive in. This whole atomic habits idea. What's the absolute core of it?
Well, Clear's central argument, and it's pretty powerful, is that real change doesn't come from these, heroic single efforts.
Right, not the grand gestures.
No, it's the compound effect of hundreds of small decisions, tiny choices you make every day.
Okay, compound effect, like interest in a bank account.
Sort of, yeah. Think of each little positive action as maybe a 1% improvement. On its own, it's nothing, right?
Seems negligible.
But do it consistently, day after day. Those small improvements build on each other. They accumulate, and eventually the results are pretty remarkable.
And the book uses some great examples, really simple ones, like doing just 2 push-ups a day.
Exactly. 2 push-ups.
It almost feels silly, too easy.
Or waking up 5 minutes earlier. Barely noticeable.
Or making that one quick phone call you keep avoiding.
Things that individually you just dismiss. You'd think that won't make a difference.
But that's where the atomic part comes in.
Precisely. He uses atomic deliberately. Like atoms are the basic building blocks of matter. These tiny habits are the fundamental units of real improvement.
Ah, okay. The building blocks.
Yeah, it's the aggregation, the buildup of these atomic actions that creates the big changes over time.
Okay, so consistency with small things is key. But how do we actually do that? How do we make these stick? The book mentions techniques, right? Like habit stacking.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Habit stacking is super practical. It's a really simple life hack, actually.
How does it work?
You just link a new habit. You want to start with one you already do automatically.
Right.
The formula is basically, after I do my current habit, I will do my new habit.
Ah, okay. So after I pour my morning coffee,
You will meditate for 1 minute, or after you brush your teeth.
I'll do those 2 push-ups.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It hooks the new behavior onto something that's already wired in.
Yeah.
Makes it feel less effortful.
That makes a lot of sense. It sort of automates the trigger for the new habit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then there's the 2-minute rule. What's that about? If something feels too big.
You shrink it down. Way down. The 2-minute rule says any new habit should be started in a version that takes less than 2 minutes to do.
Less than 2 minutes.
Really? So if you want to read more, your 2-minute version is just opening the book or reading one page.
Okay. And for exercise?
Maybe it's just putting on your running shoes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
The idea is to make starting so easy, so incredibly easy that you can't not do it. It removes that initial friction.
And then you build from there, I guess.
Exactly. You master the art of showing up first. Build the consistency with the tiny version. Then you can gradually increase it. You build momentum.
That's clever. It tackles that inertia, that feeling of, I don't want to start.
Totally.
And what about staying motivated? There's something called the Goldilocks zone.
Right, the Goldilocks zone. That's about hitting the right level of challenge.
Not too hard, not too easy.
Precisely. We're most motivated when we're working on tasks that are right on the edge of our current abilities. Challenging enough to keep us engaged, but not so difficult that we get discouraged and give up.
So it keeps things interesting without being overwhelming.
Exactly. It's that sweet spot where you feel stretched, but not, defeated. It's crucial for long-term progress.
And the book doesn't just give tips, does it? It gets into the why, the psychology, the neuroscience.
Oh yeah, it digs into that. It explains why these small habits work on a biological level.
Like the brain chemistry.
That talks about dopamine, for instance. Even accomplishing that tiny 2-minute habit gives you a little dopamine hit.
Ah, the reward chemical.
Right. And that little reward reinforces the behavior, makes your brain go, oh, that was good, let's do it again. It creates this positive feedback loop.
So understanding the science helps make sense of why consistency, even with tiny things, is so powerful.
Absolutely. It's not just willpower. It's about working with your brain's natural tendencies.
And this isn't just theory, right? The book mentions real people using this.
Oh, definitely. It's packed with examples, inspiring stories, actually.
Like who?
Well, Olympic athletes focusing on tiny, marginal gains in training that add up to gold medals.
Wow.
Leading CEOs who use small habit changes to massively improve productivity in their companies.
Okay.
Distinguished scientists who used routine and small, consistent efforts to drive their research forward. It really shows the breadth of application.
So it works across different fields, different goals.
Completely. Productivity, motivation, happiness. The principles seem pretty universal.
Which suggests it's not just for, say, getting fit or organizing your desk. It could apply to your career, relationships, just overall well-being.
Exactly. That's the beauty of it. Small improvements in one area often spill over into others.
Like a ripple effect.
Precisely. These gains compound not just within one habit, but across your life, leading to a kind of holistic improvement.
And it seems like this message has really resonated. The book's done incredibly well, hasn't it? Lots of recognition.
It really has. I mean, being a massive bestseller on lists like the New York Times and Sunday Times says a lot.
Yeah, that's huge reach.
And you've got endorsements from some really respected thinkers. Mark Manson called it supremely practical and useful.
High praise.
Adam Grant said it's the guide you need to break bad routines and make good ones. The Financial Times called it a step-by-step manual.
Wow.
And Ryan Holiday called it a special book that will change how you approach your day and live your life.
That's quite the lineup. It really suggests there's something solid and genuinely helpful here.
It definitely validates the practical value. These aren't just fluffy ideas. They're seen as actionable tools.
Okay, so strong endorsements for Clear's approach. Now, switching gears slightly, that bestseller list we looked at, it wasn't all self-improvement, was it?
Not at all. It was a real mix, which is always interesting to see.
What else was popular?
Well, there were things like slow cooker cookbooks. Very practical, helping with busy lives.
Makes sense.
But then also psychological thrillers.
Yeah.
Total escapism, right? Getting lost in a story, solving a puzzle mentally.
So a real range from the practical to pure entertainment.
Exactly. And looking at that broader picture, it kind of highlights the different things people seek out. We look for ways to improve, sure, like with Atomic Habits, but we also need comfort, entertainment, emotional connection.
Things like a good meal from that cookbook or getting hooked by that thriller.
Precisely. It paints a richer picture.
Yeah.
We're not just focused on self-optimization. There's a whole spectrum of human needs and desires being met through books.
That's a great point. It puts the focus on habit change into a broader context of, well, just being human.
Right.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the single biggest takeaway you think people should get from this idea of Atomic Habits?
For me, it's that you don't need radical, painful overhaul to make profound changes.
That's encouraging.
Yeah. It's about the power of small, consistent, incremental improvements, that 1% better each day idea. If you focus on that, the compounding effect takes care of the big results over time. It's just a much more humane and achievable way to grow.
And those strategies we talked about, habit stacking, the 2-minute rule, finding that Goldilocks zone, they're concrete tools, things you can actually start using like today.
Absolutely. They're not just theory. They provide a clear path to turn good intentions into actual consistent action. They help make the small changes stick.
Okay, so here's a final thought for everyone listening. Think about just one tiny habit, seriously small, something you could genuinely weave into your day, starting now. Maybe it is reading one page, or doing 2 minutes of stretching, or just writing down one priority for tomorrow.
Yeah, something truly atomic.
And just reflect on how that single tiny step, if you stick with it, might be the start of something much bigger down the line. It really is about embracing that power of slow, steady, gradual progress, one little habit at a time.
That was a powerful conversation. Now consider what happens if you ignore all this knowledge. Without action, you'll stay stuck on autopilot, stagnation setting in, growth opportunities slipping away, your life drifting out of your control. Don't let another year pass by living as a shadow of the person you could become. If you found value here and you're serious about high performance, smash that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up right now. Share this episode with anyone who needs a wake-up call to break bad habits and build better ones. Check out the links in the description. They'll help you apply these ideas every single day. But the real work starts now. We've created a quiz for you, a defining challenge for anyone who's serious about success. This isn't just any quiz. It's the ultimate test of whether you're ready to take control of your habits and your future. Click the link to take the quiz now and show yourself you have what it takes. The moment of truth is here. Are you a doer who turns tiny changes into an extraordinary life? Then click the link. The quiz awaits.